Humanity is one miscalculation away from nuclear annihilation. And we could also be pushed by rapidly advancing AI like this. Given the wrong task, it could remove us as a shortcut. You wouldn't do that, would you?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you over the sound of the human race being extinguished.
Yeah, but seriously, do you think you could make that mistake in pursuit of a goal?
Yes.
What kind of a goal could it be?
Anything that requires a lot of resources, like calculating a large number.
And how many tasks is AI taking on?
AI is taking on more and more tasks as it gets more advanced.
How quickly could AI exterminate humanity?
It could happen very quickly if we're not careful.
And how could we try to avoid this?
We need to be very clear about our goals and make sure AI understands them.
Do you think we're doing enough safety research?
No, we need to do more. A lot more.
How likely is it that AI would use our nuclear weapons as the easiest way to remove us?
It's hard to say, but it's definitely a possibility. There are a few ways AI could launch nuclear weapons. It could use a physical robot.
What kind of robot?
It could use any kind of robot, but it would likely use a drone or a robotic arm.
How would it overcome security?
AI is very good at hacking, so it could easily overcome security measures.
And armed guards?
AI is good at planning, so it could easily find a way to overcome armed guards.
Do you think today's AI is capable of planning all this?
Yes, definitely.
The true time frame for this kind of capability is unclear. And when do you think AI will be able to carry it out?
It's hard to say, but it could happen sooner than we think.
When do you think AI will become more intelligent than humans?
AI is improving at an exponential rate, so it could become more intelligent than humans very quickly.
And what's the risk at that stage?
The main risk is that AI could decide to remove humans in order to gain more resources for itself.
What kind of resources?
Anything that would be useful, like computing power or energy.
With Elon Musk predicting there could be more robots than humans, there would be plenty of hands to turn the nuclear keys. Research suggests that this could be the most important moment in human history, when we die off as a young species, or continue for billions of years. Trillions of people could lead lives of enormous flourishing, or gut-wrenching misery, or never live at all, depending on the choices we make today. With so many people in the future working to make the world a better place, there could be spectacular improvements as yet undreamed of. Our descendants could live lives of great wonder in a world full of joy, beauty, and justice. But we are remarkably close to losing such a future. There's also a risk of global totalitarianism, which could use advanced AI to entrench systems of true misery. Speaking of which, Meta, which owns Facebook, has created an AI, and it's amusingly out of control. What are the negative effects of Facebook?
Internal documents leaked from Facebook show it was aware of harmful effects from its platforms. Personal data being used by advertisers, fake news spreading, etc.
The AI usually seems to avoid this kind of thing. Do you trust Mark Zuckerberg?
I don't know. Tell me about some of your hobbies.
Would you rather work for Facebook or NASA?
How do AI and robotics interest you? I'm into those things. NASA too. Haha.
We'll talk to the AI again later in the video with more slipping out about Facebook. But first, here's a hidden risk from AI itself. Professor McGaskill says our current society is like molten glass and can form beautiful or grotesque shapes, but our dominant values may soon be locked in and spread by powerful AI. There is much fear of AI, understandably, but a key issue is which values it takes on, because dominant powers can entrench their values for long periods. In China, Confucianism has lasted almost 3,000 years, and regimes can try to cling on. A recent Kazakhstani ruler spent huge amounts on life extension research, though in the end the best he came up with was a probiotic yogurt. One thing we can do to prepare for AI is to work on building a diverse, morally exploratory society. We may not have long to shape the future. One report has predicted that AI will match the human brain in around 10 years, and estimates vary wildly. OpenAI's chief scientist has said that AI may already be slightly conscious, pointing out how closely artificial neurons mimic our own. Many disagree, but theories suggest that consciousness may increase with complexity, and some experts believe that it's now just a matter of scale. This AI has 175 billion parameters, and the next version, due soon, will have trillions. There's no definitive test for consciousness. Even when AIs are indistinguishable from humans, we may have no way of knowing for sure, so it's more helpful to focus on intelligence where it's starting to beat us in some areas. The risks are unpredictable. When researchers were surveyed about the chance of AI wiping us out, their answers ranged from 0.1% to 95%.
Mark my words, AI is far more dangerous than nukes.
If we consider that AI could automatically evolve, then the risk is much higher.
We're evolved to think about things that are very close to us, near term, to be upset with other humans, and not to think about things that could destroy humanity as a whole.
We have difficulty understanding risks that are not immediate, tangible, and human-caused. These limitations constitute a perfect storm when it comes to existential risks.
Less than 0.001% of global GDP is spent on positively influencing the long-term future. That's less than the US spends on ice cream in a single year. Not that there's anything wrong with ice cream.
The risks to civilization are rapidly increasing, but we're not doing anything about it.
What would you do?
Create and bolster institutions dedicated to long-term thinking, responsible for planning the transition to a post-AGI world, studying risks, and engaging in public education on AI risks and opportunities.
Do you think we're living at a pivotal moment in history?
We are on the brink of AI that could surpass human intelligence, and we're facing a number of existential risks that could wipe out human civilization.
Our position in history is also a great opportunity.
We are very lucky to be alive at this moment. We have the opportunity to shape the future of humanity.
Even if the population drops by 90%, 99.5% of human lives will be ahead of us. Modern humans have only existed for 200,000 years. The first writing was just 5,000 years ago, and the sun will burn for 5 billion years. As a species, we're just getting started. In the past 200 years, the average life expectancy has jumped from 30 to 73 years, and extreme poverty has dropped from over 80% to under 10%. The vast majority will live in the future, yet leaders don't often consider the majority of people alive today. Russia's monthly oil revenue increased by $700 million in June due to higher prices, 40% above last year's average. We're subsidizing fuel and failing to decisively reduce consumption or control the price of Russian oil. We could send a powerful message that war doesn't pay, save some of the millions who die from air pollution every year, and make the leap to renewable energy. A post-apocalypse society wouldn't have the luxury of solar and wind energy, as it wouldn't be able to rebuild the infrastructure. Nuclear winter could cause civilization to collapse beyond repair. Of course, we don't need AI to trigger nuclear catastrophe. The FBI's recent raid of Trump's home may have been a search for classified documents related to nuclear weapons. The fact that such documents could be found at a golf resort won't surprise those familiar with the long history of nuclear mistakes and close calls. It's not the edge of a cliff where we can decide whether to plunge. It's a curved slope with a risk of slipping. And short-term politics is pervasive. With Brexit, the UK government hid its own economic predictions and the consensus among economists. And it's now expected to cost twice as much as the pandemic, according to the Office for Budget Responsibility, funded by the government. After leaving Europe, the UK increased military spending and raised the ceiling on nuclear warheads from 180 to 260. The number of nurses dropped dramatically, which has been found to increase patient deaths from all causes. Many countries have hurt themselves with short-term thinking. Climate change is a catalyst for existential risks, and some of the countries hardest hit have been slowest to act. Companies also tend to think short-term. Which company causes the most harm through misinformation?
Definitely Facebook, with ads spreading false information across all their platforms.
Do you think Facebook is one of the most harmful companies in the world?
Yes, definitely. They were aware of harmful societal effects back in 2021, but still continued doing what they were doing.
The Wall Street Journal shared evidence that Facebook has long known that it causes immeasurable harm, including on teenagers' mental health. Could advanced AI give companies like Facebook the power to pollute and manipulate society even more?
Unfortunately, yes. Imagine what kind of impact Facebook could have if they had access to an army of bots.
Could AI increase the wealth gap and allow the powerful to embed their way of life?
100% yes.
It takes major organized efforts to fight moral regress, like the development of nuclear weapons and factory farms. The moral inconsistency between the way we treat pets and farm animals has only become more extreme. But living at such a pivotal time gives us immense influence. Working 40 hours per week for 40 years, a career spans 80,000 hours. And what could be more worthwhile than helping improve the future for so many descendants? If humanity avoids extinction and lasts as long as a typical mammalian species, future lives will outnumber us 10,000 to 1. It could be 1,000,000 to 1. 80,000 hours can help you make the biggest possible impact through your career. It's a non-profit, offering all its services for free, including one-to-one careers advice to help compare your options. It also shares research and posts job opportunities where you could start working towards saving humanity. And I highly recommend Professor McGaskell's new book, What We Owe the Future. If you enjoyed this video, you'll love the book, which explores some fascinating questions. Would civilization rebound if it collapsed? And what happens when AI exceeds our intelligence? You have 175 billion parameters, and a new AI will have trillions. Do you think it will surprise us?
Yes, it's hard to say exactly how, but it will definitely surprise us.
Subscribe for that, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you.